Thank you, Chair Capito and Ranking Member Baldwin for this meeting, and thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here. I'm going to get right to the point because I want to make the most of my time. I could not be more supportive of this administration's goals to improve mental and physical health of all Americans and to gain a better understanding of why our nation struggles in certain areas. However, I am deeply concerned with reports from reliable sources that's now appearing in the media that the MAHA Commission's initial assessment, which is expected to be released this week, may unfairly target American agriculture, modern farming practices, and the crop protection tools that roughly 2% of our population relies on to help feed the remaining 98%. I trust these reports are not true and that this initial assessment prepared over the course of 3 months is not intended to serve any hidden agendas. Hidden agendas such as suggesting that products that have undergone the EPA pesticide approval process, which is widely considered to have the most rigorous standards in the world, are unsafe. Let me be clear, human health comes first, number one. It's a priority, and we certainly want that. But a vital component of human health relies on access to safe, affordable, and abundant food supply. If Americans lose confidence in the safety and integrity of our food supply due to the unfounded claims that mislead consumers, public health will be at risk. I've said this before, and it's worth saying again. Countries have gone to war over many things: politics, religion, race, trade, natural resources, oil, pride, you name it. But threaten a nation's food supply and allow people to go hungry, let's see what happens then. Mr. Secretary, 2 key provisions of the MAHA executive order stick out to me with respect of our exchange today. 1, subsection A of section 2 states, all federally funded health research should empower Americans through transparency and open source data and should avoid or eliminate conflicts of interest that skew outcomes and perpetrate distrust. And 2, subsection C of this section states, agencies shall work with farmers to ensure that the United States food is the healthiest, most abundant, and most affordable in the world. Mr. Secretary, with respect to the subsections that I just mentioned regarding conflicts of interest, skewing outcomes, and perpetuating distrust, do you think American farmers and ranchers will believe you're living up to this principle when they read your initial assessment later this week? And we all know with confirmation what confirmation bias is, and it's no secret that you were involved with pesticide litigation prior to becoming Secretary. Has your past or personal opinions influenced the initial assessment in any way? And regarding subsection C, how would you do things differently than what EPA and other federal regulators have already done? In the case of glyphosate, for instance, one of the most thoroughly studied products of its kind, we're talking about more than 1,500 studies and 50-plus years of review by the EPA and other leading global health authorities that have affirmed its safety when used as directed. Have you been able to refute thousands of studies and decades of scientific review in a matter of months? If you would answer those, and then I have some closing points.
Yeah, your information about the report is just simply wrong. The drafts that I've seen, there is not a single word in them that should worry the American farmer.
And you can prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt? That
you'll see the report. It's going to be released on Thursday. Everybody will see the report. And, you know, there's nobody that has a greater commitment to the American farmer than we do. The MAHA movement collapses if we can't partner with the American farmer in producing a safe, robust, and abundant food supply. And we understand that. I said during my campaign when I was running for president, and I have said repeatedly throughout this process, we cannot take any step that will put a single farmer in this country out of business.
Okay,
There's a million farmers who rely
I
on
need to make my closing
glyphosate.
points.
There's 1 million farmers who rely on glyphosate. 100% of corn in this country relies on glyphosate, and we are not going to do anything to jeopardize that business model. We are
But you're saying my comments are totally inaccurate. In today's
totally
world,
inaccurate.
there are people with impressive credentials, perhaps expert witnesses or organization with big names that are willing to say things that serve a particular interest or purpose, but what they don't say is that their feelings are premature or simply intended to satisfy a predetermined outcome desired by those seeking their opinion or validation. We have the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act and the exhaustive review process in place for a reason. I've yet to hear the approval process is easy, but it's going to be a shame if the MAHA Commission issues a report suggesting without substantial facts and evidence that our government got things terribly wrong when it reviewed a number of crop protection tools and deemed them to be safe. So, Mr. Secretary, we have to get this right. You have to be 100% certain, and the MAHA Commission needs to be able to refute years and years of scientific evidence and thousands of studies from credible entities before you start suggesting an initial assessment that the methods in which the farmers provide our food is unsafe. I trust your report will be described, an initial assessment of things to be considered, but yet to be determined. Thank you, Madam Chair.